Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Believe in Bengal podcast. Solomon Wilcots right here on Valley Sports, Ohio. And right now, I'm joined by a very special friend. You may see him every single day on NFL Network as one of their best analysts on pregame show. Steve Mariucci joining us on the show. Mooch, how you doing today?
Hi, Sully. Hey, you know what? You and I were together for a long time over there at the network. Gosh, what would you say? You maybe 15 years you were with the NFL Network?
Absolutely. And
We just had our 20th anniversary. Okay.
That's
this
right.
past weekend. So we went down memory lane and went everybody that used to be with us and kind of the highlights and the bloopers and everything else, right?
Yeah.
And gosh, you were there a long time. You were one of the original guys, founding fathers, and I came in shortly thereafter. But this will be my 19th Super Bowl coming up with the network. Yeah. Longest I ever had a job by far. And so, but we miss you, man. We had some good times.
Well, I appreciate it. And in case a little birdie may tell you this, for a long time I covered college basketball. And so I had to drop your name once or twice when I was up at in East Lansing,
Michigan, Lansing with Izzo.
With Coach Izzo, man.
Yeah, he's been there like 40 years now, before you were born.
And yeah, he is the absolute best. If I die and come back and I'm playing college basketball, I'm playing for Coach Izzo.
Yeah, he's been through a lot over there, man, over at Michigan State. But I'm really proud of him. Well, I can't wait to get back. We had a deal when we began coaching. We grew up together, right?
Yeah.
And so when we went to high school together, we went to college together, we lived together, all of that. And so we had a deal if we got to coaching that if I got to a Super Bowl, that I would take him, and if he got to a Final Four, he would take me. I'm like the mascot over there.
That's
well,
right.
I've been to 8 Final Fours with Izzo, and I still owe him 8 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
But it's never too late, right?
Yeah, never too late.
He's got a nice team this year, though. He's pretty excited. He's got a pretty darn good team again.
Yeah, I covered him when he had a good one too. Mateen Cleese and Mo Pete and the
Flintstones.
That's right, all the guys from Flint, and he won a championship that year. So
yeah, he did.
He's a great, and he's a football guy. That's what I love about him. He's a football guy. I watched him put helmets on his guys and make them rebound because he wanted to toughen them up when they go in for rebounds. And he was bringing some football stuff to what they were doing on the basketball court. So
you're exactly right. He's absolutely a football coach. Yeah. And when we played in high school, I was the quarterback. He was the tailback. And then he was a linebacker too. And, he wore one of those hoops on his thing like Larry Zonka. And he's an animal, all right? And so he really is in the wrong profession. Not profession, he's in the wrong sport. Yeah, he should have been a football coach.
He's a football guy. I want everybody to know that about Coach Tom. Is one of my all-time favorites. And Mooch, look, let's talk about this Bengals game and this Bengals football team. This is the Believe in Bengal podcast. And, of course, they just played the San Francisco 49ers out at Levi Stadium. They won that game 31-17, to a lot of people's surprise. The 49ers now 3 straight losses. And this Joe Burrow, he's running all around. He's breaking tackles. They're putting pressure on him. How did Joe Burrow's mobility, you think, play a factor in the outcome of this game?
Well, he's back. You know what? When he went down with that calf injury, in training camp, we're like, oh, jeez. Because you know how those things can linger, right? Mm-hmm. And in fact, well, then when he got to playing, he's in the shotgun. He can't be under the center, which, as you know, really limits what you can do in the running game. And then it limits your play action game too. And so they're playing him from the shotgun, and he's playing from there. He's not leaving the pocket. He's very handicapped, right? Yeah. And they come into the 49ers game as the last ranked offense. And it's because of this damn calf that he's got, right? Yeah. Well, you know what? The calf looks good to me right now because he was running all over the place, looked like Lamar Jackson. And so, he made some plays leaving the pocket. He's so good on the run. He ran for 4 first downs. He ran 40-some yards. I mean, that's amazing. So all of a sudden, this last ranked Bengals offense is now super explosive. They got the 3 great receivers, with Jamar Chase and Higgins and Tyler Boyd. And I just was so impressed when they can't, because when they forget about that 49ers losing 3 games in a row over here, they have a hell of a football team. We all know that. Yep. And they'll be fine when Deebo Samuels comes back, right? Sully and Trent Williams are left tackle. They'll be fine. But right now, the Bay Area is a little shell-shocked. It's like, what is going on with this team that won 15 games in a row? The Bengals came in here and really made a statement in my mind. And Joe is healthy. Look out.
I will say this, 49ers already taken 2 Vince Lombardi trophies away from us here in Cincinnati. So it's about time. You guys had to give us one.
Yeah, the John Candy game. Yeah, remember that one?
That's right. You guys had to finally give us one. They put Joe Burrow a lot under center. In what way, shape, or form do you think that impacted their ability to run the football? They had over 130 yards rushing against a really good 49ers defense.
Really good defense, great defense. They were 3rd ranked in scoring defense, and all the superstars that they have over there. Nick Bosa is as good as it gets, and Javon Hargrave was a great get right in the offseason. And Fred Warner, I think, is the best linebacker in the league, and very, very good. The last few years, they've been a top defense. So I was shocked that the Bengals had 400 yards of offense going up and down the field, and 134 of those yards, Solly, came in the ground game. But like I said earlier, when the quarterback is under center and you got Mixon back there, who, by the way, is from the Bay Area right here. It was a homecoming for him, right? And he's a heck of a back. And he was a large part of that 134 yards of rushing and clock control, and a lot of first downs. And they kept Brock Purdy off the field a lot of the time. But when you're under center, you've got all the runs. You've got all of your inside zone, stretch play, pitches to both sides, counter plays, all of it to both sides. And then you have all the play action stuff of both sides. And you got a mobile quarterback now that you can escape and change the launch point going right or left. And Joe is capable of doing either or. When you're in shotgun, drives me a little bit nuts, okay? When you're in shotgun, Sully, Steve Young never went in shotgun.
Never.
0.
That's right.
Bagel, goose egg, never went in shotgun. Okay. So he just didn't like it. But when you're in shotgun and you're in pistol, or you're like standing right next to you right there, there's not a lot of run plays that you have to defend. Yeah, you got an RPO. Yeah, you got a zone read. Yeah, great. Everybody's doing it. High schools do it. But, you're going to run the inside zone. You're going to run this, and you're going to run a couple things. But when you're under center with your quarterback and you got that guy back there, everything needs to be defended, run and pass. So the Bengals are now doing that with a healthy Joe Burrow calf. And that little calf is going to determine a lot of what happens in this National Football League, okay?
Wow.
Because if it's not well, they weren't very good, were they?
That's right.
But if it's healthy, this team can beat anybody.
That's right. Hey, that's why, look, they've written great Greek tragedies about a little Achilles heel, right? How it can just bring down even the strongest of guys. And we've already seen that with an Aaron Rodgers, and now, unfortunately, a Kirk Cousins. I want to ask you about this great. I thought it was a great play design down inside the red zone. The Cincinnati Bengals and their head coach Zach Taylor, they decide they are going to fake a wide receiver screen over to the right, and while all the defenders rushed over there to stop it, there was Jamar Chase, the best weapon they have. He's wide open in the corner of the end zone. Joe Burrow, he fakes the wide receiver screen to get the defenders to draw up to the line of scrimmage, and they leave Jamar Chase wide open for a 17-yard touchdown. Tell me what you thought about that play design, Mooch.
You got to defend that play. You got to practice that every week, whether you see it or not on film, because what's happening now, Solly, as you know, like 67% of our game is in shotgun, and a large percentage of the pass completions are on our side of the line of scrimmage. Okay.
Wow, really?
Jerry Rice never caught a receiver bubble screen.
Yeah.
That wasn't allowed then. You couldn't go downfield and block and this and that. Well, right now, we're getting completions out there,
Yeah.
quickly. RPOs, bubble screens,
Right.
wide receiver screens, all kinds of things. So it's just a matter of time before you come back and pump it and fake it, and then the guy that's supposed to be blocking just takes off. And they called it at the right time, and they fooled the corner. And the Niners need another cover corner, and it was wide open. And why you don't say, well, we better just have a lot of eyes or a lot of double coverage on Jamar Chase all the time.
Yeah.
That kind of surprised me a little bit. But man, what a great play design and call. But that's where the game's headed. A lot of completions. We're throwing the ball vertically. I'm sorry, not vertically, horizontally,
yeah.
Throwing it out there, which is high completion percentage, low risk. That's why all these guys we don't have many interceptions anymore. We have high passer ratings because we're throwing the ball over here horizontally. That's right. Way more than we ever did.
And the most prolific offensive players are those who can break tackles and create yards after the catch. Yep. That's why the Niners really do miss a Deebo Samuel. He's one of the best in the game at it, as is George Kittle. Both Kittle and IU did have over 100 yards receiving in this game, so they were doing their part. They just needed maybe a few more of their pieces. The left tackle, no doubt, Trent Williams, and then Deebo Samuel. One last question before we let you go. Brock Purdy has now turned the ball over 3 times in each of their last 2 ball games. How do the 49ers look to get him going in the right direction? I think he's a really good young quarterback. He just seemed to have hit a lull here. Got to do a better job maybe of protecting the football, Mooch.
You know that a quarterback can play great or well enough 80-90% of the time. And then all of a sudden, that one freak play, like that interception to Jermaine Pratt inside the 10-yard line, that's a freak play. That doesn't happen. That will never happen again in his whole career, right?
That's right.
He's trying to get the ball over there. Would have been a touchdown, and the guy intercepts it on the 9-yard line. And so then his other interception was a bad decision. He forced it into coverage. You don't see that. But the kid threw for 365 yards, and he ran for another 57. Brock Purdy is the real deal. He's not an experiment anymore. He's not Mr. Irrelevant anymore. He's really good. Now, what happens sometimes when a quarterback starts getting confident and just carefree, and I'm not worrying about looking over my shoulder, I'm just slinging it now. Well, and now and then he'll try to fit it in there when he probably shouldn't, But a couple of plays like that, and then the fumble, there's some plays that made the difference in that game. Not a lot of games are 14-point differential in this league. More than half of our games are one possession scores, right?
That's right. That's right.
So it wasn't as much of a butt kicking as that score might indicate. Yeah. But Brock Purdy, he had a couple plays that were real big factors in that game. But otherwise, kid played a pretty damn good game. And you mentioned Deebo missing. Deebo's a little bit of a freak. I mean, he can play everything. He can play everything. Yeah. He can probably kick and punt too. I don't know. He's a tailback, right? He had more rushing touchdowns last year than receiving touchdowns. That's and right. Slot and receiver, and then Christian McCaffrey's his clone. They're like the same. And so when they were both missing, that was really hard on the Niners because your backup can't do all that stuff, right? For either guy. Yeah. But they're going to get Deebo back here. And they're going to get Trent Williams back here, and they're going to be a real solid team and hard to beat again. But Bengals caught him at the right time and really outplayed him for that given day. And who knows, Sully, they might win again. John Candy won't be at the game, but they might play that Super Bowl again. Bengals 49ers, wouldn't that be something?
I would love to see that. There's no doubt about it because I think you guys owe us one. Just one, Mooch. Just one.
Yeah, just one.
We're still looking for our first one. I think the last time I was in the building over there, there were 5 Lombardi trophies floating around the building there.
Yeah, you see my painting right here. That's the one. That's the one we didn't get. Right.
I know, right?
You got to keep your eyes on the prize. Well, my eyes are still on the prize, but we're not going to get that prize.
I love it. Beautiful painting, by the way. And by the way, happy 20th anniversary with the NFL Network. It's just a wonderful thing. And maybe you could take Tom Izzo to the Super Bowl this year in Las Vegas. You're going to be there for sure. So maybe you can take him with you in Las Vegas. I'm sure he won't turn you down.
He won't turn me down, but but the deal was I got to be coaching in it. You know what I mean? But I can act like I'm coaching in it. But anyway, yeah, you were one of the founding fathers there for the network, and we miss you, man. You're doing great. Thanks for having me on. Keep up the great work, Solly.
Thanks for joining us. You're the best. Of course, he is NFL analyst Steve Mariucci, and of course, I am yours truly, Solomon Wilcots, right here for the Believe in Bengal podcast. Don't forget to join us again next time, everyone.
Make sure you check out Bet Online for all of your sports betting needs. For anything that I do betting related, I go on over to betonline.ag and I use promo code BELIEVE50. BetOnline has all of the latest updated odds for the NFL and college football seasons. Anything you need, whether it's futures, live in-game betting, no matter what, your football betting needs are met at BetOnline. And again, make sure you use that promo code BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50 to get a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.